Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. So today we're going to be talking about Spencer. I finally got a chance to see this film. I didn't get to last weekend because I was actually at Rhode Island Comic Con, so didn't get a chance to check the film out. But I finally did this weekend, and I know it's late, but I figured it's better to talk about this film now rather than never. Because there were a couple movies throughout this year where just like the past month or two things have gotten a little crazy. Like Dune, The Eternals, and things like that. I'll talk about them at the end of the year with my end of the year list. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I was like, all right, I can't let this film, go past two. So Spencer is a biographical drama about Princess Diana, and it focuses on 3 days towards the end of her time with the royal family. Now, during those course of those 3 days, we get a look at, her just, struggling with being royalty and how it's kind of affected, her and just her mental state, overall.
Will they kill me, do you think?
Now you think, this person is royalty. They have people waiting on them night and day. How can I really, feel bad for someone in this situation? Well, when Diana, she wants to do little things like, go out for a drive by herself and, just go out to the countryside, she gets questioned for that. Why did she go by herself? When at one point she goes, downstairs in the middle of the night, she wants to have, some late night snacks, as, a bunch of us, do from time to time. She gets questioned by one of the guards and really gets, kind of ridiculed. Like, why is she doing this? But she wasn't, eating at dinner time when everyone else was. And even she, she can't have her blinds open, especially when she's, changing because there's, fear that someone might be outside and take a picture of her, while she's naked. And just these little things that, us as everyday people, we kind of take for granted. And it's like, oh, we can go to the store, we don't have to have an entourage or anything like that. And this film just kind of really shows that, Diana really struggling with the fact that, she's royalty and that, because she's royalty, they, the royal family want her or wanted her to, act a certain way. She really almost didn't have almost any free will of her own because they wanted her to do only the things that they wanted to, the certain way that they wanted to. And if you didn't, or if she didn't in this case, that, she would be questioned for why she didn't want to do this or wear these certain clothes at a certain time or why she didn't have someone with her at all times. So yeah, you definitely kind of feel, you feel bad for her. And we have to talk about, Kristen Stewart's performance in this film because, my God, at the very least, I think she definitely deserves to get, nominated, once, award season's here because her performance in Spencer is absolutely incredible as Diana. She brought this vulnerable side of, of Diana to life. And, she just really wanted to enjoy the simple things of life. And she really, couldn't a lot of the times because of, the fact that she was royalty and she wasn't really allowed to do that. And honestly, it was really, heartbreaking. For a bulk of this film, it's just heartbreaking seeing her not being able to do these things, with her kids. Even her kids at one point, they're questioning her. They're like, why can't we, open up Christmas presents on Christmas Day like everyone else? And they can't because, opening them up on Christmas Eve. And I know a good amount of people open up Christmas presents on Christmas Eve. But the kids are like, why can't we do it on Christmas Day? Like everyone else, why do we have to do it on Christmas Eve? And, she's like, oh, because it's tradition. So there's all these different traditions and stuff that are set in place and they have to follow them because if they don't, they're going to be questioned. And it's really, it's heartbreaking. And you really feel for her, and her kids, in this movie. And you can see, throughout the film how it affects her and just her mental state. And I thought that, Kristen Stewart, she did a great job of, bringing that vulnerable side of Diana to life. I did like also some of the, the little moments throughout the film where she would kind of, say something back, to either the maids or the different guards. At one point, and this got a laugh from everybody in the audience, including myself. But at one point, and I'm paraphrasing here, not directly quoting her, obviously, but she says something, she's trying a dress on or getting ready for, a dinner or something. And she's like, okay, now, leave me be. I want to masturbate. And you can tell them I said that. And everyone just kind of, so she has these little quippy moments, with the guards, because you can just tell that, with a lot of these different things happening throughout these, these days, with her relationship, with Prince Charles, that she's just kind of had it, and she, she's really struggling with that. So it's, it's nice to see her kind of, fight back like at times with some of these little like funny, one-liners like here and there. And we have to talk about the cinematography in this film because, oh my God, does this movie look absolutely fucking gorgeous. It was shot on film, and you can certainly tell that's the case because there's just so many, moments, so many scenes in this film where I was just, I was watching and I was like, wow, that looks amazing. And you just, a lot of times you just don't get that same effect, when it's shot, like on digital. So it was really, nice to see this, shot on film. And there's like one, just one of the particular moments that stands out to me is that at one point, Diana, she kind of sneaks out in the middle of the night because she's trying to go see like her old house. And so she's going through like the fields. It's foggy. You have like a moonlit sky. And it was just like one of those particular moments I was just like, I found myself just going, holy shit, like that's just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I mean, the cinematography in this movie to me, was incredible. The score for this film is great as well. And at times, like it actually almost gives it sort of a psychological horror, like thriller aspect to it, which wasn't expecting that, going into this movie at all. But there, just the way the score, it builds up like at certain times. And it almost kind of, it puts you inside of, the mind state of Diana in certain like moments, and just like where there would be like certain scenes. Like there were certain moments where I was like, holy shit, this is getting like a little bit more than intense than I was expecting. And when, just when you have a score that can complement, a movie like that, it just really, brings the movie to a next level for me. So I really, really enjoyed the score. Like I said, the cinematography, the performance by Kristen Stewart. As you guys can tell, there really wasn't much as far as like negatives that I would say with this film, if anything that I can think of like at all. It's definitely one of my favorite films of the year so far. I'm glad I was able to check it out because sometimes with these films, it's a little bit harder for me where I'm here in New Hampshire to see these because we don't always get them around us. Sometimes have to travel a little bit to see them. So I was glad that I was able to check this out. And again, I know it's a little late. A lot of people, saw it last week, or some, people, if they got advanced screenings, have already seen it. But it's one of those movies that I was like, you know what? Even though it's late, I just want to get my thoughts out there on this movie. And, I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are on the film like as well. So, but overall as a score, yeah, even though I wouldn't necessarily say like it's a fun movie to like watch, because it is very sad and heartbreaking, and just, knowing what happens, or happened to Diana, like afterwards, it is, it is very sad. But I mean, just as far as like a film, like itself, the artistry that went into this, like I said, the performance by Kristen Stewart, just the way the film looks, the score, all of that, I mean, you can't help but, just love this movie, or at least I did, in my opinion. I'm going to give this an 8.8 out of 10. Definitely something that I'm going to be picking up when it comes out. So I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are overall on the film. Definitely let me know down below in the comments. Is this something that you have already seen, or is it something like me where, you just got a chance to check this out because it maybe wasn't, playing near you, and it is only in theaters, I believe, like right now. So let me know down below in the comments. And as always, guys, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe, hit that hit that bell button. That way you get notifications for all my new videos. Give this video a thumbs up. And as always, guys, please make sure to check back for more Pop Culture with Pat.